Ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, and everyone who's listening today, let me start by telling you something so profound that it can change the very trajectory of your life. Something so real, so powerful, and so full of hope that it demands your attention. It is this: God's sudden favor is coming for you. Yes, you. The moment you've been waiting for, the breakthrough you've prayed for, the open door you've longed to walk through, it is here. Your life is about to blow the roof off in ways you never imagined. I want you to pause for a moment and truly let that sink in. God's sudden favor. Not a slow, creeping, barely noticeable improvement, but sudden, like a lightning bolt out of a clear sky, like the floodgates bursting open, like a wave that lifts you higher than you've ever been. Sudden favor that changes your story, changes your destiny, changes your whole world. Many of us have been waiting, hoping, working hard, facing challenges and disappointments, maybe even feeling stuck or overlooked. We prayed and maybe wondered if anyone was listening. But today, I want you to know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that your season is shifting. Your moment is coming. God's favor is not only real, it's sudden, and it's for you. Favor is one of the most incredible forces in life. It's more than luck or coincidence. Favor is God's supernatural blessing, His divine intervention in your life. Favor opens doors that no one can shut, brings opportunities that you didn't earn by your own merit, and brings breakthroughs that defy human logic. It's the divine advantage that propels you to success, breakthrough, and new heights. The Bible is full of stories of God's sudden favor. Think about Joseph in the Old Testament. He was sold into slavery by his brothers, thrown into prison unjustly, and yet God's favor was on him. One day, suddenly, he was pulled from prison and elevated to the highest position in the land, second only to Pharaoh himself. That is the power of God's favor, God's hand, moving quickly and powerfully to change someone's life overnight. Or think about Esther, a young woman who found herself in a palace full of intrigue and danger. When her people faced destruction, God's favor positioned her exactly where she needed to be at exactly the right time. Suddenly, she became queen and used her influence to save her people. Favor is a divine appointment. Your life is about to be divinely appointed to something greater. Maybe you feel like you've been waiting for a long time. Maybe you've been through seasons where doors slam in your face or where you felt invisible and unheard. But I want to tell you this: when God's favor comes, it's not just a little breakthrough. It's a breakthrough that blows the roof off your expectations. It's a breakthrough so great, so undeniable, so miraculous that everyone will see it and they will know it's God. Sometimes favor looks like sudden promotion, maybe a job opportunity that seemed impossible, a business deal that comes through at the last minute, or a relationship that suddenly turns around. Sometimes favor means supernatural provision, money when you didn't expect it, help from unexpected places, or resources showing up just in time. Sometimes favor brings healing and restoration where there was once pain and brokenness. Whatever area of your life you're facing, whether it's your finances, your career, your health, your family, or your dreams, God's favor is about to invade that space. It's about to bring unexpected increase, sudden success, and overwhelming blessing. But here's the key: favor often comes after faithfulness. It comes after you've refused to give up, after you've kept going even when it seemed hopeless, after you've prayed and hoped and trusted God even when you couldn't see the way forward. Favor doesn't mean you won't have hard days or struggles, but it means that in the midst of those struggles, God is working behind the scenes. And when the time is right, His favor bursts through. You might be thinking, how do I position myself for this sudden favor? How do I make sure I don't miss it when it comes? The answer is simple, but it requires your heart. First, you have to believe. Believe that God's favor is real and that it's coming to you. Believe that your life is not defined by your past, by your mistakes, or by your setbacks. Believe that God has a good plan for you and that His favor will propel you into your destiny. Second, stay faithful. Keep doing what God has called you to do. Keep walking in integrity. Keep serving others. Keep working diligently. And keep praying persistently. Favor often comes to those who don't give up, who continue to sow seeds even when they don't see immediate results. Your faithfulness is like fertile soil where God's favor can take root and grow. Third, prepare yourself to receive it. Sometimes God's favor can come so suddenly that if you're not ready, you might miss it. Prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit to step into this new season. Get ready to accept new responsibilities, new opportunities, and new challenges. Clean up your life from anything that might hold you back: bitterness, unforgiveness, fear, or doubt. Remember, favor is not just about receiving. It's about being a channel of blessing to others. When God's favor shows up in your life, it's so that you can bless those around you. You become a testimony, a light, and an encouragement to those who are still waiting for their breakthrough. Favor is contagious. It inspires others to believe and to expect miracles too. I want you to imagine for a moment what your life will look like when this sudden favor hits. Imagine doors opening that were previously closed. Imagine opportunities you never thought possible falling into your lap. Imagine peace replacing anxiety, hope replacing despair, and joy replacing frustration. Imagine your family being lifted up, your dreams coming true, and your purpose being fulfilled in ways that blow your mind. Your life will blow the roof off because God's favor is unstoppable. It doesn't come quietly. It comes with power and authority. It silences doubt. It defeats the enemy's plans, and it causes the whole world to take notice. When favor comes, it doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes your identity. You start to see yourself the way God sees you: favored, chosen, empowered, and unstoppable. I know some of you might be thinking, but I don't feel ready. I don't feel worthy. Let me tell you this: you don't have to be perfect to receive God's favor. You just have to be willing. God's favor is not earned by perfection. It's given by grace. God loves you just as you are and wants to bless you just as you are. Your past mistakes do not disqualify you. Your failures do not define you. God's favor can wash over you and wipe the slate clean. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to open your heart and say, God, I'm ready for your favor. I'm ready for you to move in my life like never before. And when you do that, watch how the impossible becomes possible, how obstacles melt away, and how blessings start raining down. There's a scripture that says, "For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory." Deuteronomy 24. Imagine God fighting for you, clearing the way, and causing favor to chase after you. That's exactly what's coming your way: divine help, divine strategy, and divine victory. And this favor is not just for a moment, it's for a lifetime. It's a favor that sets you up for long-term success, joy, and fulfillment. When God's favor comes, it changes the course of your life forever. It's a game changer, a life changer, and a destiny changer. So today, as you listen to these words, I want you to make a declaration. Say it out loud if you can. God's sudden favor is coming for me. My life is about to blow the roof off. I am ready to receive it. I am ready to walk in it. I am ready to be a testimony of God's goodness. Believe it, declare it, receive it. Your breakthrough is not just a dream, it's a reality that's knocking on your door. Open up and let God's favor flood into every area of your life. Watch your relationships transform, your finances multiply, your health restore, and your purpose ignite. You are about to experience the unexpected, the extraordinary, and the miraculous. God's favor is about to cause your life to explode with blessings so big, so powerful, and so undeniable that you'll never be the same again. Hold on to this truth. No matter what you've been through, no matter how long you've waited, God's favor is on the way. It's coming suddenly, powerfully, and overwhelmingly. Your life is about to blow the roof off, and the world will stand back in awe. Get ready, because your season of sudden favor is here. Your breakthrough is here. Your victory is here. Your life is about to be forever changed by the hand of God. And as this favor comes, remember to give thanks. Thank God for what He's about to do. Thank Him in advance for the blessings that haven't even appeared yet. Gratitude is the magnet that attracts more favor. When you give thanks, you make room for more blessings to flow. So stand tall, keep your eyes fixed on God, and prepare yourself to receive his sudden favor. Your life is about to be the loudest testimony of God's goodness the world has ever seen. God's favor is sudden and powerful. This is not a gentle nudge or a slow-moving wave. It is a force that breaks through walls, shatters ceilings, and changes the entire landscape of your life almost instantly. Imagine standing in a room with a roof overhead, feeling confined, limited, and unsure of how you will ever break free. Then suddenly the roof blows off and you find yourself looking up at endless possibilities and open skies. This is what God's sudden favor does. It's like a divine explosion of blessing that lifts you beyond your current limitations and propels you forward in ways you never thought possible. Favor is a supernatural advantage given by God, not something earned through human effort or merit. It is his divine intervention that opens doors that no one else can open, causes circumstances to align in your favor, and brings unexpected blessings that defy explanation. When favor hits your life, it's a game changer. It's the moment when your prayers, your hard work, and your hopes suddenly converge with God's perfect timing and power. Think about the stories we see throughout history and Scripture. Joseph's life is a perfect example. He went from being sold into slavery by his own brothers to being falsely accused and thrown into prison. Yet, despite the injustice and the hardship, God's favor was on him. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, Pharaoh's cupbearer remembered Joseph. Pharaoh called for him, and in one moment, Joseph was taken from a dark prison cell to become second in command of all Egypt. This wasn't a slow climb or a gradual promotion. It was sudden and powerful favor that changed his entire destiny overnight. Joseph's life exploded with favor, not because of what he had done, but because God's hand moved swiftly and powerfully on his behalf. Favor often surprises us. It shows up when we least expect it, and when we feel like giving up or have already endured long seasons of waiting. Sometimes favor is like a surprise gift that lands in your lap when you're down to your last hope. It could be a sudden job offer when you thought all doors were closed. It could be an unexpected financial blessing just when you needed it most. It could be a healing that doctors never saw coming. It could be a reconciliation in a broken relationship that seemed impossible to repair. Whatever form it takes, favor is always sudden and always powerful because it comes directly from God's heart and hand. The power of God's favor is undeniable. It silences doubts, defeats the enemy's plans, and makes the impossible possible. When God's favor is upon you, you begin to walk in a realm where obstacles that once seemed insurmountable simply dissolve. It's like having a supernatural force pushing you forward, making every step easier and every challenge smaller. Suddenly, what once seemed like a mountain is just a molehill. Favor doesn't just make life easier, it elevates you into a new reality where blessings multiply and success follows. It's important to understand that favor is not random luck or coincidence. Favor is deliberate and purposeful. It is God's way of showing his love, his approval, and his plan for your life. When you experience sudden favor, it's a sign that God is aligning everything in the spiritual and natural realms for your good. He is setting the stage for you to fulfill your purpose, to step into your calling, and to live the abundant life he promised. Sometimes we might feel unworthy or wonder why God would choose to favor us. But God's favor doesn't depend on our perfection or performance. It depends on his grace and his promises. God delights in showing favor to those who trust him, who keep their eyes on him even when the way is unclear. He loves to surprise his children with sudden blessings and breakthroughs, reminding us that his ways are higher than our ways. God's sudden favor also brings with it a sense of joy and celebration. When favor arrives, it's a cause for rejoicing because it confirms that God is active in your life. It's a moment when you can look back and see how all the pieces fit together, how all the waiting was worth it, and how God's hand was never absent. Favor is a tangible reminder that you are not alone, that your future is bright, and that God's promises are true. As you prepare to receive God's sudden favor, know that it is coming with power. It will lift you out of hardship, elevate your status, and open new doors. It will surprise you, overwhelm you, and change your life forever. Favor will blow the roof off your limitations and set you free to live the abundant, victorious life God is destined for you. So hold on to hope. Keep your faith strong. Expect God's sudden favor to show up and move mightily in your life. When it comes, you will know it because it will be unmistakable, undeniable, and unstoppable. Your life is about to explode with favor, and nothing will ever be the same again. Favor comes after faithfulness. This is a profound truth that many people overlook or misunderstand. Sometimes we expect blessings and breakthroughs to arrive instantly, without realizing that there is a process, a divine preparation that must take place first. Faithfulness is the foundation upon which favor rests. It's the steady, consistent, and sometimes difficult walk of trust and obedience that positions you to receive God's sudden and powerful favor. Faithfulness means showing up even when you don't see immediate results. It means doing what you know is right, even when it's hard, inconvenient, or when no one is watching. It means continuing to work, pray, serve, and believe, even in seasons of waiting, silence, or struggle. Faithfulness is about staying committed to God's plan for your life, no matter what challenges or setbacks come your way. Many of the greatest stories of favor in the Bible follow seasons of faithfulness. Joseph's faithfulness in prison is a perfect example. Despite being wrongfully imprisoned and forgotten, Joseph did not give up. He served faithfully, maintaining integrity and trusting God. His faithfulness prepared him for the sudden favor that elevated him from prison to the palace. This teaches us that favor often comes to those who endure the waiting room with perseverance and hope. Faithfulness is not always easy. Sometimes it feels like you are giving more than you are receiving. You may work tirelessly, pray fervently, and stay hopeful, only to feel stuck or overlooked. But faithfulness is the character that God honors. It's the commitment to keep planting seeds even when you haven't yet seen the harvest. It's the willingness to keep pushing forward even when the road is rough and uncertain. When you remain faithful, you are demonstrating your trust in God's timing and His promises. You are saying, God, I don't see the breakthrough yet, but I trust you. I don't understand the delay, but I believe you have a plan. I don't know how this will end, but I'm committed to the journey. This kind of faithfulness is powerful because it aligns your heart with God's heart and prepares you to receive His favor fully. God's favor is often reserved for those who have proven their faithfulness in small things. Jesus taught that those who are faithful in little things will be entrusted with much. Faithfulness builds character, strength, and endurance. It prepares you for the responsibility that comes with favor, because favor is not just about receiving blessings, it's about stewardship and using those blessings wisely. Sometimes the waiting period tests your faithfulness. It challenges your patience, your hope, and your commitment. But it's important to remember that waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is a season of growth, refinement, and preparation. It's a time when God is working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances and positioning people and opportunities in your favor. Your faithfulness during this time proves that you are ready for the favor to come. When favor finally arrives, it often arrives suddenly, but that suddenness is built on the foundation of faithfulness. The breakthrough you experience is the fruit of seeds planted, watered, and nurtured over time. It's the reward for keeping your eyes on God and refusing to quit. Without faithfulness, sudden favor can be fleeting or misused. But with faithfulness, favor becomes a lasting blessing that changes the course of your life. Faithfulness also means staying true to your values and integrity, even when the world tempts you to compromise. Favor that comes without faithfulness can lead to pride, selfishness, or misuse of blessings. But favor that comes after faithfulness is rooted in humility and gratitude. It produces a heart that recognizes God as the source of every blessing and uses those blessings to bless others. The story of Daniel is another example of faithfulness leading to favor. Daniel remained faithful to God's commands, even in a foreign land surrounded by opposition. His unwavering commitment and integrity positioned him for God's favor, leading to promotion and influence. Daniel's faithfulness wasn't just about obedience. It was about trusting God through every challenge and standing firm in His beliefs. Your faithfulness might look different depending on your season. It could be faithfully managing your current job, faithfully raising your family, faithfully serving in your community, or faithfully nurturing your gifts and talents. No matter what your role, faithfulness means doing it with a heart fully committed to God and a spirit unwilling to quit. When you feel like giving up, remember that favor often comes right after the test of faithfulness. The moment you think you can't go any further is often the moment God is about to shift things in your favor. Your faithfulness has not gone unnoticed. God is preparing to reward your commitment and loyalty with blessings that will exceed your expectations. In fact, faithfulness is a form of worship. It honors God by showing that you trust Him above all else. It says, God, I'm not just interested in the blessings, I'm committed to you. This kind of faithfulness attracts God's favor because it reflects a heart that values the relationship above the reward. So, as you wait for God's sudden favor, ask yourself, am I faithful in the little things? Am I consistent in my prayers, my work, my service, and my trust? If the answer is yes, then know that your favor is coming. Your faithfulness has prepared the way for God's power to move in your life suddenly and mightily. Keep walking in faithfulness, even when it's difficult. Keep trusting, keep praying, and keep believing. Your breakthrough is on its way, and when it arrives, it will blow the roof off your life, because it is the reward for your steadfast faithfulness. Believing and positioning yourself for favor is a vital part of receiving the blessings God has prepared for you. Without belief, favor cannot fully manifest in your life. Faith is the soil in which favor grows. It is the mindset that invites God's blessings and allows them to take root. To believe means to trust completely in God's goodness, power, and timing, even when circumstances look uncertain or discouraging. It is to hold on to the promise that God's favor is not just possible, but destined for you. Belief is the starting point of every miracle. Without it, doors remain closed, opportunities pass by unnoticed, and breakthroughs are delayed. When you believe, you are essentially telling God, I trust you to work on my behalf. I am ready for what you have promised. This trust invites God's favor to move into your life with greater speed and power. The Bible often reminds us that faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. Similarly, believing positions you to receive God's favor, no matter how big the mountain in front of you may seem. But believing is not just about hope or wishful thinking. It is an active, intentional stance. It means you speak life over your situation, declare God's promises out loud, and refuse to allow doubt or fear to take root in your heart. When you believe, you start to see possibilities where others see problems. You begin to think differently, act differently, and open yourself to new opportunities. Belief reshapes your attitude and behavior in a way that aligns with God's favor. Positioning yourself for favor means more than just waiting passively for blessings to fall into your lap. It means preparing yourself spiritually, mentally, and practically to receive what God is sending your way. You don't just wait for favor, you actively get ready for it. This preparation involves cultivating a mindset of gratitude, humility, and expectation. It means removing obstacles like unforgiveness, doubt, and fear that block the flow of favor in your life. Positioning also requires action. Faith without works is dead, and belief without action often leads to missed opportunities. When you believe God is about to bless you, start taking steps that align with that belief. This might mean applying for that job you feel unqualified for, starting a project you've been postponing, or reaching out to someone who can help you grow. Your actions demonstrate your readiness to receive and your willingness to partner with God's favor. Another key part of positioning yourself for favor is surrounding yourself with the right influences. Favor thrives in an environment where encouragement, positivity, and faith flourish. Seek out people who believe in your potential, who uplift you, and who challenge you to grow. Avoid negativity and discouragement, because doubt can quickly extinguish the flame of belief. When you surround yourself with faith-filled people, your own belief is strengthened, and your readiness for favor increases. Spiritual preparation is crucial. Regular prayer, meditation on God's promises, and worship create a fertile ground for favor. When your spirit is aligned with God's will, you position yourself to hear His voice clearly and recognize the opportunities He is placing before you. God's favor often comes through divine appointments, unexpected encounters, and open doors that only spiritual sensitivity can detect. Being spiritually prepared keeps you alert and ready to act when those moments arrive. Belief also means trusting God's timing, which can be one of the hardest parts. Sometimes favor doesn't come when we want it, but when God knows we need it. Trusting in His perfect timing means surrendering control and being patient, even when it feels like nothing is happening. This kind of trust positions you in peace, which is a powerful place to receive favor. God honors those who wait on Him without anxiety or frustration. Your words play a powerful role in belief and positioning. The Bible teaches that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Speaking positive declarations over your life invites favor, while negative words can block blessings. Make it a habit to declare God's promises over your circumstances. Say things like, God's favor is upon me, doors of opportunity are opening for me, and I am ready to receive blessings. These words align your spirit with favor and prepare your heart to accept it. Sometimes believing and positioning yourself for favor means stepping out of your comfort zone. Favor often requires courage because it brings change. You might have to leave familiar places, try new things, or take risks. Trusting God's favor means believing He will guide and protect you as you step into the unknown. When you act in faith, even when you don't see the whole path, you show God you are ready for the blessings He has prepared. It's also important to remember that favor is not just about receiving blessings for yourself. Belief and positioning include a heart to be a blessing to others. God's favor flows through generosity, kindness, and service. When you believe that favor is coming, also believe that you will use it to help others. This open-handed attitude attracts more favor because it aligns with God's heart for His people. Finally, remember that favor is a gift. While belief and positioning prepare you to receive it, favor itself is from God's grace and love. You don't have to earn it by being perfect or flawless. You simply need to believe it's for you and position yourself to receive it with open hands and an open heart. When you do, watch how God moves suddenly and powerfully to blow the roof off your life. Favor changes your life and identity in ways that go far beyond material blessings or temporary success. When favor comes, it doesn't just alter your circumstances, it transforms how you see yourself and how others see you. It shifts your place in the world and redefines your purpose and potential. Favor is a divine makeover for your life and your soul, lifting you into a new level of destiny and impact. Before favor, you might have felt stuck, overlooked, or insignificant. You may have battled self-doubt, insecurity, or a sense of limitation. Favor breaks through all of that and reveals your true identity as a beloved child of God, chosen for greatness. It opens your eyes to your worth and potential, showing you that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Favor tells you that you are not defined by your past failures or your current struggles, but by the future God has prepared for you. When favor touches your life, it ignites a new confidence that is rooted not in yourself, but in God's approval. This confidence changes your attitude and actions. You begin to carry yourself differently, more boldly, more expectantly, and with a greater sense of purpose. Favor removes the fear of rejection or failure and replaces it with a steady assurance that God is with you and that success is within your reach. Favor also changes how others perceive you. People begin to notice the difference in you. Doors that were once closed suddenly open. Opportunities that seemed out of reach come your way. People start to seek your counsel, value your opinions, and offer support. Favor acts like a magnet, attracting relationships, resources, and circumstances that align with your new identity and calling. It's as if you move from the sidelines to the center of influence where your voice matters and your presence is welcome. This transformation is not just external, it's deeply internal. Favor reshapes your identity by aligning you with God's purpose for your life. It helps you discover gifts, talents, and callings you may have hidden or doubted. Suddenly, you find yourself stepping into roles and responsibilities that stretch your faith and character. Favor equips you to become a leader, a healer, an innovator, or a change maker in your community and beyond. One of the most beautiful aspects of favor is that it changes how you relate to setbacks and challenges. Before favor, difficulties may have overwhelmed you or caused you to give up. After favor, you face trials with resilience and hope because you understand that favor is a divine force backing you up. You learn that setbacks are temporary and that favor is a sign of God's ongoing presence and protection. This new perspective empowers you to keep moving forward even when the road is tough. Favor also redefines your values and priorities. When God's favor is upon you, you begin to see life through the lens of His kingdom rather than just your personal desires. You become more generous, compassionate, and focused on using your blessings to make a difference in the lives of others. Favor reminds you that your success is not just for you, but for a higher purpose, to be a blessing and to bring glory to God. This identity shift is crucial because it grounds your success in humility and gratitude. Favor can easily lead to pride if not handled with wisdom. But when your identity is rooted in God's favor, you remain thankful and aware that every blessing is a gift, not a reward for your merit. This humility keeps you open to continued growth and deeper levels of favor. Favor also renews your sense of hope and expectation for the future. It gives you a vision that stretches beyond your current limitations and challenges. You start to dream bigger and believe that the impossible is possible. This hope fuels your motivation and creativity, inspiring you to take bold steps toward your goals. Your transformed identity through favor impacts your relationships as well. When you see yourself as favored and valued by God, you naturally extend grace, encouragement, and love to those around you. Favor increases your capacity to forgive, to support, and to uplift others. It creates a ripple effect where your new identity as a favored person inspires others to believe in themselves and to seek their own breakthroughs. Favor also prepares you to handle greater responsibility. With new identity comes new assignments. You may find yourself entrusted with tasks that require wisdom, patience, and courage. Favor equips you to rise to these challenges and to lead with integrity. It teaches you to balance confidence with humility and ambition with service. This change in identity is a divine reset. It erases limiting beliefs and negative self-images that may have held you captive. Favor replaces fear with faith, doubt with assurance, and defeat with victory. It sets you free to become the person God created you to be, the person He is delighted to bless and use for His glory. As your life changes through favor, you become a living testimony of God's goodness and power. Your story encourages others who are still waiting for their own breakthrough. Your identity as a favored person becomes a beacon of hope, showing that no matter where you started or what you've been through, God's favor can transform your life completely. In summary, favor does much more than open doors. It changes who you are. It transforms your self-image, boosts your confidence, elevates your influence, and aligns you with God's purpose. Favor gives you a new identity rooted in God's love and power, equipping you to live a life of impact, joy, and victory. When favor blows the roof off your life, it changes everything, beginning with who you are at your core. Favor is given by grace, not earned by perfection. This truth is both freeing and powerful because it removes the burden of trying to be flawless in order to receive God's blessings. Many people wrongly assume that they must be perfect, sinless, or have their lives completely together before they can experience favor. But God's favor is a gift, an unearned blessing that flows from His grace, mercy, and love. It is not something we can work for or deserve through our own efforts. Grace means that God's favor is extended to us even when we fall short. It means that despite our mistakes, failures, and imperfections, God chooses to bless us and open doors for us. This favor is a demonstration of His unconditional love, not a reward for human achievement. Understanding this releases us from the endless cycle of striving for perfection and frees us to embrace God's blessings with gratitude and humility. The Bible is filled with stories of imperfect people who received God's favor. King David, for example, was a man after God's own heart, yet he was far from perfect. He made serious mistakes, including adultery and deceit, yet God's favor remained on his life. God continued to use David mightily, proving that favor is not about flawless behavior, but about God's grace working through broken vessels. This reminds us that God's favor is not about who we are on our best days, but about who He is in His mercy and kindness. Favor is not about being sinless. It's about being available. God looks for hearts that are willing to be used despite their flaws. He values faith and obedience over perfection. When you open yourself to God's grace and surrender your need to be perfect, you position yourself to receive his favor in ways you never imagined. God delights in taking what is imperfect and making it powerful for his glory. Trying to earn favor through perfection leads to frustration and exhaustion. It sets an impossible standard that no human can meet. This kind of striving often results in feelings of shame and inadequacy when mistakes inevitably happen. But God's favor liberates you from that pressure. It says, "You are enough, not because of what you have done, but because of who I am." This liberating truth allows you to rest in God's love and walk forward with confidence. Grace-driven favor also means that your past does not disqualify you from blessing. No matter what you have done or how far you feel from God, favor is available to you. God's grace reaches into every broken place and brings healing and restoration. It covers your mistakes and opens new doors, proving that no one is beyond God's redeeming power. This is why stories of redemption are so common in Scripture, because favor is given freely, not earned. When you understand that favor is given by grace, it changes your relationship with God. You no longer have to hide your flaws or pretend to be perfect to approach him. You can come as you are, knowing that his love and favor are not conditional on your performance. This intimacy with God builds confidence and boldness in prayer and worship because you are accepted unconditionally. Favor given by grace also teaches humility. It reminds you